Hi everyone, Dr. Ed here from EPS. Today I wanted to do a wrap up to the series of videos that I've done over the last month. If you recall, in the first video I introduced the idea of psychological flexibility and the importance of self-care. And subsequent to that, I had introduced 6 principles based out of an article by Lisa Coyne and her team that included things such as small things matter, everything interacts, patterns matter, meaning matters, we are stronger together, and self-care is love. And today I wanted to sort of put some of those ideas and concepts together into some overall guidelines that I think are helpful for parents to foster psychological flexibility and to engage in more regular self-care. And the first one, you hear it all the time, is this idea of mindfulness and acceptance. And that can feel daunting for a lot of us. And so what I would encourage parents to consider is, can you take certain times of the day where you're actually bringing purposeful attention and curiosity to what you're going through in that present moment? Ask yourself, let me ask you right now, how much of your time do you spend time traveling, thinking about the what ifs or the mistakes that you've done, rather than being present in that engagement or in that situation? And so if we can start to practice that on a regular basis, we pick different times of the day and we start to notice what's happening for us internally. What are we saying to ourselves? What is the dialogue that we're engaging in? And part of that would be to being open to accepting that some of the pain and sadness and stress is inevitable. It's going to happen. And it's okay to not be okay. And some of the strategies that I would encourage you to consider is, once we start to pay attention to these present moments and start to be curious about what we're going through, we can start to notice those times when we take our thoughts as literal truths. Think about all the shoulds and musts that we find ourselves saying to ourselves on a day-to-day basis. And so as we start to pay more attention to the present moment, as we start to accept that some stress and suffering is inevitable, and we start to pay attention to our thoughts and try to tease them apart, to just say, look, when I feel like this or when I think this, I end up acting in this way. Then I think it's easier then to start taking the perspective of our children. What are they seeing when I'm falling into this pattern? What are they experiencing when I'm living through the shoulds and musts? And then, in order to sort of help with this, I would consider and I would urge you to think about what's important to you. What are your values? What do you want to accomplish as a parent? What do you want to achieve as an individual? And then think about how you're going to commit to yourself. Make a promise to yourself that you're going to engage in some of these activities. And then at the same time, incorporate some of the self-compassion and kindness. It's okay to not be okay. View yourselves through the eyes of your children. It's easier to be kind to oneself when one does that. And so, just some final sort of parting thoughts. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to reach us at info@atopicalpsych.com or send me a message through Instagram or Facebook. Okay? Thank you guys. Take care.